Hi, and welcome to this session on e-coaching secrets. The fact that you are listening to this explains a lot about your desire to share your expertise with the world. We'll begin the session by explaining what e-coaching is all about. Once we have dwelled a bit on that, we'll move on to our core subject, which running a seminar from home, or more popularly called as a webinar. As we all know, the internet has become one of the most powerful tools of sharing information by using different means, be it blogs, e-magazines, or academic journals. There are experts and not so experts with little or more knowledge on any subject written on the internet, with a view to educate or increase their business. You may not realize, but you too may be an expert in your chosen field. Somewhere inside, every one of us has an urge to share what we know best. You may have counseled your friends at some point of time, or written a great piece for the internet. Some part of you wants others to know how you do it. Some of your family or friends may even have suggested you to consider this as something you can teach. Why don't you? You may like to ask how. It's understandable that many of you don't know about the concept of e-coaching. Let's move on to gain some insight into this field of teaching and learning, how it can be converted into a lucrative business. There are two great things about e-coaching. Firstly, the medium is easy to use and create. You don't need to write or print loads of paper when all your knowledge can be saved in a CD or hard drive and distributed via the internet. Secondly, everything can be done from the comfort of your own home in your own time, whether you have a full-time job or not. If you already have a job, you can consider this as an additional source of income. Well, that must sound very attractive to you. Now that you have a fair idea of what e-coaching means, let's look at some ways which can be used to present your ideas to the world. Technology plays a very important role for using the methods employed in e-coaching. These methods include PowerPoint presentations, instant messaging, email, video conferencing, and using CDs or DVDs containing study material in audio, video, or ebook format. If you have very little or no knowledge of these methods, a small basic course on computers would equip you well enough to get started. Most businesses today are going global. Their products and services are offered to the world market. Why should you restrict yourself to your location or country? This is where your knowledge of internet comes in. With the power of the internet, it is now possible to reach a wider audience. This would ensure success, even if the subject of your choice does not have interested people in your location. You would still be able to make a business out of it. That's the advantage of e-coaching. One of the best methods of e-coaching is webinars. This is because you can use a combination of e-coaching methods to develop your business. This is what is covered in the next section. What is it about a webinar that makes it a good choice over a conventional seminar? The first thing is that it's virtual, therefore it saves you the hassle of the setup required in a land-based seminar. All you need is a computer, a fast-speed internet connection, microphone, and webinar software. All these equipments are easier to get, as well as set up right inside your home. Next is the cost. Being virtual, a webinar saves time and money, which would otherwise be spent in traveling from place to place. Another advantage is that once the content of your webinar is created, it can be used again next time. Of course, you will need to make changes, keeping your client's interest in mind. Also, do check the market trends regularly and keep the content updated. A webinar is also easy to promote using the internet. Once you have all the materials ready with you, all you need to do is send a simple email. As your business grows, you can use other tools of marketing both online and offline to promote your webinar. Before you begin planning your webinar, you must understand and then decide what you would like to teach or convey through it. It is best to choose a subject that you would really like, rather than something you hold a degree in. You are obviously not holding the webinar for yourself, and it's very important to know your target audience. For example, if your webinar is based on planning a career, your audience will be undergraduates and those who have recently graduated. More on this will be discussed later. Let's now talk about the expert concept, as this is what you should be, right? Wrong. The term expert is often misunderstood. Most of us have the idea that an expert is someone who knows everything about a particular subject through a college degree. As long as you have a particular skill and experience, you can very well consider yourself as an expert. You may not have a degree in cooking or gardening, but if you have been at it even for 2 to 5 years, you can easily teach others. With that said, you do not need to know everything. As long as you know 5% of what 95% of people don't know, you already are an expert.